Welcome back to the High Desert Garden. Let's plant some seeds. As you can see, I've already planted a couple dozen tomato seeds. So far, I've planted black krim, pink oxheart, beefsteak, Cherokee purple, sun gold cherry tomatoes, and there's a couple other varieties in there. And I'm getting ready to start some peppers that I should have probably started a month, maybe even 2 months ago. But I'll still be good because I can't plant these peppers outside until June, and that's a couple months away anyway. So I think that I'm still going to do all right this year, even though I'm getting kind of a late start. So I always start my seeds indoors before my season starts outdoors, because my season is at best 2 months long outdoors. A lot of people don't realize I'm at 3,000 feet elevation here, and we get frost. I can get frost all the way into July. I can get frost as early as September. So what I've got here for the peppers are orange habaneros. This has really good flavor. Any habanero that you get, if it's not orange, it's not the original habanero with the excellent flavor. Any other colors are going to be hybrids. So the orange one is the original, is heirloom, is not a hybrid. Now here I've got some Anaheim chilies. I've got Joe's Long Cayenne. I'm going to do some bell peppers, some Tabasco pepper, and of course the old banana peppers. So the way I'm going to start these up are in these little Jiffy greenhouse. I don't use the peat pellets. You know, it came with some peat pellets, but I'm going to put my potting soil in there. So if you guys don't know how I make my potting soil, I did do a video on that last spring on how to make the potting soil, and essentially it consists of peat moss as well as an organic potting soil, as well as worm castings and vermiculite. So let's get started on planting up these peppers. This is the time of year when I really start to get excited about gardening. So we have such a short season. You notice I'm just putting this dirt in here loosely. It's a very loose mixture. No need to pack it down or anything. Just kind of even it out. And this potting soil is somewhat pre-moistened. The worm castings that I mixed in with it were definitely very moist, so I'll be sure to water things in really well once we get the seeds in there. So here comes the fun part. So I've got my labels here that tell me where things go. I'm going to do 4 of each. So I usually have really good germination rate. So by planting 4, I'm pretty much assuring that I'm not going to have any problems, because I'm going to keep at most probably 2 of each variety. I'm not going real crazy on pepper plants this season. Last season didn't go real well for the peppers. We had kind of a rough season last go around. So yeah, last season was sort of so disappointing, because I had really taken the time to start the pepper plants plenty early. Started them back in I think January, and to have the season that we did, and the late frost really hindered the plants quite a bit. So I had really big pepper plants last year. Before even moving them outside, they were 1.5 feet tall, and they were well pruned. Pruned them back several times, so they were very healthy, big plants that, even though I took the time to harden them off in the greenhouse for a good 3 weeks before moving them out completely into the elements, we ended up having a real late frost, and it didn't kill the plants, but it did slow them down just enough to where we really didn't have that great of a pepper season last year. Alright, so we're going to put our bell peppers here. Now, the way that I germinate my pepper plants is I have a heat pad, and I generally put the heat pad underneath these trays, and it seems to work really well for the peppers. The tomatoes, as you can see, don't necessarily need it. I only had one tomato that didn't come up, which is not a big deal. I planted more than I needed, which is what you want to do. At the same time, I try not to waste too many seeds. So here we go for Tabasco. Getting our Tabasco peppers in there. I've also got to work on my labeling. And once I plant things in the garden, sometimes I tend to forget what they are. And last but not least, banana peppers. These are sweet banana peppers, not the hot ones. My son was taking a nap, and I think I've woken him up, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and water these in, and we'll get those warming heat mat under them, and I'll put the lid on to hold the moisture in. Alright, that's a wrap. I will occasionally take the lids off of these so that each day it gets a little air in there, because you don't want mold problems or anything like that happening. So I do make sure and give things some air. And that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and get the heat mat under there, and then we'll be good to go, and we'll have some peppers this year.